Good morning, Facebook. So this is Stephen Burton, former owner of Waterproof Solutions, owner of Foundation Rescue, the FRTC. So why the FRTC? Why Foundation Rescue Training Center? Because our industry has a lot of ideas as to what should be done to a house. And quite frankly, there shouldn't be. We have rules and regulations for a reason, but it seems that the commercial world's the only one that's embracing them. When it comes to a residential property, we seem to be able to think that we can do anything to the wall, and because we call it a patented process or it's a proprietary repair, seems to be okay. It's not okay. Your deals die. If our industry was on the news the way typical news is, you'd be hearing about people losing their money, their house, and to what? To a bad repair a lot of times. Or they miss why it was done. I mean, when you fix a house and you've went to the trouble of doing a repair and you don't take care of why it happened, that repair starts to become suspect, maybe even not even on the table anymore. So it was so important for me as I went into these homes, I'd see these folks. They weren't quite ready to deal with the contractor yet. They weren't quite ready to do the repair because they weren't sure what to do. And how could you be? For crying out loud, it's taken me 35 years to figure out how this industry actually works and doesn't work because nobody wants to talk about it. Now, I'm not trying to play Chicken Little, the sky is falling, but this is your money. This is your biggest investment. It's your children's biggest investment. We need to be better stewards of our money, and we want to be. But it starts right off the bat with your house having probably the wrong size gutters on it, not enough downspouts. The hardscape pounding the house, the landscape pounding the house. You may not even understand what these things are, and that's where we need to start. The materials that your house was made of can only work a certain way. And they're being put to tests and limits that water will take them out. So it's real important that the FRTC, Foundation Rescue, gets the word out. I want to make this as reasonably affordable as possible. The workshops are $29. If you don't get what you need out of the workshop, I promise you, you can have your money back. I have to charge something, but this is very important. And from that, you can pick up a slang. I have terms, 800 terms, and slang terms that are with our industry. Drawings of real details. There are actual standards for soldier beams, for drainage systems, not patented pipes and different places to stick a piece of steel or bolting it to this or hanging it on that or putting a plate up on the wall and calling it done. It's not done. And a lot of times it's not the right repair. So March 11th from 1 to 4, doors will open at 12:30. We're going to have our first class. Our first workshop, the 5 reasons why your house won't sell. Now, the houses eventually sell. But man, is there a lot of garbage and a lot of things that happen in the between. You get into that starting time of your inspection period, you better have had things worked out before that. Because that clock ticks fast and there is nobody moving quickly. Even if they want to move quickly, the process is what it is, and you need to be mindful of that. So, I've heard the term, the jack of all trades is a master of none, but oftentimes is better than one. There's so many times we just chop the part of that verse out that we like, or that's that little saying. We need to be better. I've heard brokers tell their realtors, you don't need to learn that industry. That's a bunch of garbage. Knowledge is power. It's when you open your mouth that you might mess up. So be slow to listen. Slow to speak, quick to listen. It's important we get it right. There's a lot of things that we carry around that are not truths. and we believe them to be, and it ends up giving us a bad outcome when we do our work or we start to down our process. We want to make this easier. So we want to talk about these things that are happening. You know, your gutters, your downspouts, the hardscape, the landscape, the repairs that aren't finished, the cosmetics, what needs to be done and why. These need to be talked about so that you can have a successful sale of the home or a successful purchase, or just being able to live in comfort and in peace, knowing that when you do give this property up, because nobody lives forever and there's no U-Hauls behind a casket, were you a good steward? Are we leaving the property proper to the next people? Is your wishes being handled? You see, that's what we need to understand, is that the asset, the valuable commodity that Wikipedia says is a valuable asset, is something that has monetary value. Well, the person is the asset, period. It's the most important person we work for. If it wasn't for the person that we're working for, that asset, treating them like they're valuable, we would wind up in the same problems that they're in, because we'd be chasing our pocketbook instead of chasing proper cadence, which is what's best for them. We'll get into that with the other classes where I talk about the inspector relationship with the realtor and the client. And if that relationship just happens during that quick time frame of the inspection period, that inspector has a grave responsibility put on him. And if he doesn't understand what's best for that asset, he has to look at the house on its own. And many times that can be very difficult, to be pointing out all the things that are wrong with the house, because we do it in relationship to what we think the norm is. And we've got to get rid of that norm, because if you knew what the norm was, you wouldn't be calling a salesperson into your house for you to buy something that you don't know how to buy. Think you do? And this is where we wind up in trouble, with things bought too early or the wrong time frames, things weren't done in proper cadence. So let's just get everybody up to speed. Let's do it in a nice way. I think the 3 that we're going to offer in April, obviously, it's the 5 reasons your house won't sell, the relationship between your inspector, the client, and the realtor. And then the third one, the folks I think really will enjoy, is, you know, when you're getting ready to buy something, you need to know how to buy it, because that's when you make your return on investment, your ROI, is when you buy it. So if you're really good at being able to size up the property and be able to put real numbers to what needs to be done based on that client or yourself, your what you want to do, now you have a very successful purchase happening, and you'll be a very successful investor, a very successful buyer's agent. So many of them that I've trained rock it. They know exactly what's going down. They call me for backup, and I love that, just to make sure they've got the dust settled in the right areas. So don't be afraid anymore. 3 times a month, we're going to offer classes to be able to help people in an afternoon on a Wednesday from 1 to 3, to make it to where you don't have to feel locked in to what's happening. So when April comes, the classes will be on the 8th, 15th, and the 22nd. We want you to be here. We want you to be a part of it. You can also, you don't have to come here. I've got seating for 25, 30 people. If we ever get to where we got more wanting to come, I got room here. But you can take this online. You can take this on Google and just sit there. You don't have to download anything. You can pay for it online and start to absorb this information. We will have notes from every class that you'll be available afterwards. You'll be able to combine the 3 together for credits at the training center. We also offer a 16-week class that will start June 1st for gentlemen and ladies that want to be in the industry. They either want to go to work in the industry or they want to actually be a business owner. God bless you. We need you. Help us raise you up. There's plenty of work. You walk out of this 16-week class or any of my workshops and have done well, and those people call me about you, I assure you, you won't be wondering if you're going to work. I have so many people asking me, please, let's get some boots on the ground. Let's get some people trained. Let's start with their attitude and making sure that they understand what they're about to get into. Make sure they're good with their taxes. Make sure they're good with their people. It's one thing to know an industry, but you have to know the business and you have to know the ins and outs of it. Well, we're going to show you those things. Tired of things being hard to find. I'm tired of things being hard to figure out. I have a real passion for this. I had a very lucrative business with Waterproof Solutions, but it did not answer my need to have a legacy left. We want to take this nationwide. Yeah, it's Missouri. We're a show me state. That's why it's starting here. We're going to put 4 up here, and then we're going to move right to Nashville. After that, nationwide. There should be a safe place in every town for someone to be able to take a bid and just ask them. They're wanting to put plastic on the walls. Is that right? They're wanting to put a plate on my wall instead of brace it properly. Is that right? They should be able to find out, they meaning you, should be able to have a straight answer as to whether or not the process that they're going at it is going to be able to sustain the materials being used. For instance, when you brace a wall or you pint up a wall or you inject a wall, if you're not careful, you break the wall right next to where you've touched it because you didn't take care of the wire, you did the wrong type of repair. So make sure, if you're getting ready to buy a house that's got a bunch of work done to it, make sure that when you're looking at it, that the work makes sense and that the why was taken care of as to why the house needed the trouble at all. Our houses are built for compression, not tension. So it's real important that we take that away. They've made this real difficult, and it's not. The fact that I've been made an expert in this industry and I'm the one to carry this torch, I find it amazing. But I can also see why. It's not been done. This isn't easy to do. I don't have anything to follow. So I need your help. And that's why I'm asking. This video is now 12 minutes long. I wanted to keep it 10, but it's my first one. Folks, please share this. If you're not ready to take the classes this week, send me some feedback. Let me know what classes you want. We take this to your office. If you've got 3 or more people there, that's enough. If you're going to do it less than that, we can do it on site. But my point is don't be afraid. Engage. Knowledge is power. We're available. We're not going anywhere. We want to be a good example. I want to see my students rise up. I want to be able to call out in the next 5 to 10 years. Gabby Flores is my director, and her and I, our whole passion towards this is to make sure that we lift up an industry that needs lifted up, give an exit to some of these tragic situations that are happening so that they can get out of these problems and get on with their life and get their house taken care of properly or sold or bought. I think at some point in time we all need some help. This industry's screaming for it. I'm here. I'm grateful. I've asked some of you to write me some testimony letters. If you feel if you feel like you want to do that, do it. As you can see, I'm not the reset, recut kind of guy. It is what it is. But I need your help. I can't do this by myself. I've certainly asked the Lord to help me, and I feel completely wrapped in the fact that this needs to be done. So, don't be a jack of all trades. Why not? Why not try and master more things than we already know? Don't be dumbed down. There's a difference, and I'll close with this, between simple and simplistic. And when someone wants to water something down and make it simplistic, saying, oh, it'll be fine, and we do this, and it's all right, and it's a proprietary, or it's a patented process, what a bunch of garbage. So, stand up for yourself, engage, lean into me, send me a message, let me know what you need, let me know what you think, but I'm here for you and I've dedicated myself to this. So this is Stephen at the FRTC Foundation Rescue, ready to help. Thank you so much.